On our last cruise, I paid an extra $750 for this accessible balcony cabin, and honestly, I wasn't sure if it'd be worth it. But after spending a full trip in this room, using a wheelchair, a CPAP, and even a portable oxygen concentrator, let me show you exactly what you get and whether I'd pay for it again. Hey, I'm Eric, and this is Cards and Comps, where we use credit card points and casino comps together, travel smarter, and to stretch our budget further. Now, today we're in the international baggage recheck area of the Fort Lauderdale airport, which is actually a really good tip. If you have a long layover in Fort Lauderdale and Terminal 1, this is the place to go. There's actually hardly anybody here, and the rest of the airport is just packed. So anyway, let's get down to it. So this is cabin 8147 on the MS Koningsdam, which is in Holland, America. Cruise ship. It's an accessible balcony room, and right away, the biggest difference you'll notice is the extra space. There's just a lot more room to move around, and which made a huge difference for us having a wheelchair. The entryway is wider, and the layout gives you enough space to actually turn a wheelchair around in the room. And that may sound like a big thing, but on most cruises, that's just not possible. And actually, in most cases, you can't even get the chair in the room without folding it up or doing something else. The threshold is just too narrow. So here in this accessible room, everything feels more open and usable. So one thing that really stood out was how easy it was to manage the wheelchair in the room. We actually had space to store it without blocking the walkway or constantly moving things around. In a standard cabin, the bathroom is one of the biggest upgrades. You got a roll-in shower, grab bars, and a lot more space overall. If you're traveling with mobility needs, this alone can make a huge difference in your trip. The balcony is also much easier to access, and it's wider. Just because the whole cabin's wider, so is the balcony, which is just a bonus. The threshold is lower. There's enough space to comfortably get in and out, and this made it much more usable compared to a standard room. One quick bonus I wanted to mention, because this actually surprised me on this ship, the casino on the MS Koningsdam still offers 3-2 blackjack on all the games. So even, I think that the lowest minimum bet, which is $15, that was a 3-2 blackjack game. So I thought that was great. I haven't seen that anywhere recently, so I just thought that was a huge value. I was really surprised. So we also were traveling with CPAP and portable oxygen concentrator. This room had extra power outlets for that, but we carry extension cords and stuff. So that really wasn't an issue. This room did actually cost $750 extra in order to get the accessible balcony room, which was the only accessible room that was available. So the real question is it worth it? And for us, it actually is. We don't do it on every trip, but it was a huge benefit. And this was for a 12-day trip. So you can imagine taking the $750 and sort of spreading it out for two people, added space and such. For that time, it's definitely nice. And for us, it's not just a comfort thing, it's a practicality thing too. So we have had other non-accessible staterooms, and in those cases, many times I'll have to fold up the wheelchair and then slide it in sideways. So that does take some of the fun out of getting in and out of the room, but it's still very doable. So anyway, if you're traveling with a wheelchair, mobility limitations, or medical equipment, I do strongly recommend this upgrade. If you want to see how we book trips like this using points and casino comps, check out my other videos. And if you stayed in an accessible cabin before, I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. And just like everything we talk about here, it's all about finding the best value for your situation. So if you get any comments, please leave them below. Links to everything that's in the description, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.